And when breathe is a verb, but like I hold my breath, it comes in a noun.
Noun form, yes.
Perfect. I hold my breath. Yep, exactly. Okay, well, let's go to the next slide. This is such an important one. So Manaf, will you read the question, please?
Yes, ma'am. Is an house fire? How long do you
Can I
have?
help with you? Can I help with a word there? The word is typically. That is a vocabulary word that's a big word. You might not hear that a lot when you're first starting to speak English. Typical is things that happen a lot. So in a house fire, how long do you can even leave that word out and just, so why don't you read that sentence again, leave out the word that starts with T and see if it makes sense to you, okay?
In a house fire, how long do you typically
Perfect.
have safely escaped once a smoke alarm sound? As little as 2 minutes, as little as 5 minutes, as little as 10 minutes.
Dash, what do you think the answer is to that?
Ma'am, B.
Dutch,
Manav says B. Dutch, what do you think?
Daksh, are you there in the meeting?
Yes, sir. Sir,
Answer.
I was talking on unmute when my mic was muted. Sir, I think it is A.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look at the next.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes.
Ma'am,
Dutch,
but
and
ma'am, but
Dutch, will you read this? Read it in the black as little as 2 minutes, but can you see the words?
Yes, sir.
That
ma'am,
starts with research shows that it's Dutch turn.
ma'am, can I read?
If you
Yeah.
And faster than natural material do.
Very informative it is.
yeah.
Like,
So that was why when Manav was saying talk fast, he's thinking maybe along the lines like you've just got to get out because the poison gases, the flammable materials, but we still want to talk slow. Okay, so let's go to the next.
Ma'am,
Yes, Manav.
ma'am, for it was the alarm was like 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and 10 minutes. Ma'am, for at home, we are having small home for only for 4 people, 2 bedrooms, one kitchen, and one hall. And for that, we should be used 2 minutes. And we are having some bungalows, and that for that we should use 5 minutes. And for we are having official offers office that it should be at 8 floors and 9 floors are there in that office, then it should be like 10 minutes, ma'am, because everyone can know that this fire is there, then they can run easily, ma'am.
So I just want to say that with an apartment fire, it will be different than a small home. But even in an apartment fire, you need to get out in 2 minutes, go into the hall. And sir, do students get trained about going to a safe spot with their family? Have you heard of that before?
In
yes,
big houses, it would spread more
faster and
faster.
and we should use the stairs. Yes,
Because,
ma'am?
ma'am, from both the sides, it will.
And we should not use the
Yes.
elevator. Elevator
Using
should not be used.
Use the stairs, don't use the
Yeah.
elevator. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. If you are stuck in the elevator, then gone.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
because the power can go out. You can be
Yes, any
stuck in the
moment.
elevator.
So it is
Yeah,
better.
you want to.
Yes, you can run faster on the stairs and more safety also there.
Yeah. And the thing is, if you had a kitchen fire in your apartment, it would not affect your neighbor right away. The firefighters could put it out in your apartment, but you want to get out of your apartment because you want to get out to safety. And you want, an idea that we have here is that you should talk with your family. If there was a fire, where should we meet? It's called a safe spot. And so you get out of your apartment, decide, do you want to go to the street? Do you want to go to the neighbor's house? But that way, you know, everyone's got out. So you can tell the firefighters, okay,
Ma'am,
mom got out, dad got out,
mostly
sister
safe
got
zones
out.
are places where there is no such a wooden material that can conduct heat, like a open field or the society compoundment.
It's important. And then one of the things that came up a lot when I was teaching this class, of course, we love our pets, right? But
Yeah.
don't be the person that goes back in for your dog or for your cat or for your bird. You know, if you leave the door open, the cat or the dog,
We can
they'll
jump.
be able to, hopefully they're smart, they'll be able to get out on their own, but you get out. Don't go back in to save an animal because chances are they're smarter than you and they'll get out and they'll be safe. But that always comes up. The children say, but what about my cat? And we're like, no, don't risk your life for the life of your beloved pet, right? All right, let's go
Ma'am,
to the
it
next.
happened, ma'am. Like there was means a short circuit nearby. But ma'am, the owner's cat was out before the owner.
Yeah, exactly. They're smart. I think they're smarter than us sometimes. They've got a good sense of smell. Let's go to the next slide. Oh, wait. These are the smoke detectors. And do you have those in your apartments?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. And ma'am, even in my science project, I made the same, ma'am.
Really? What did you do? Tell me about that. That's interesting.
Ma'am, first there was a LED sensor, ma'am, that see if the heat is coming produced or not, and with and same I used with smoke sensor. Means smoke sensors were everywhere, but one means at one place there was a fire detector. I made it by LEDs and the fire detector. So
Nice.
whenever it sees fire in front of it, it detects fire, it beeps very loudly.
Good job. I love it. Okay, let's go to the next one. Let's skip this one. I'm not sure. My husband said that was a wrong answer. He said that anyway. Let's go to the next. And the fire, we've talked about school. What's the best thing to do? Can you go to the next slide? We'd want to exit the building, and it's not safe to play in which room? Boys, what do you think?
Kitchen, ma'am.
Kitchen. And one of the things that came out when we were doing the fire safety was it showed a kitchen and they were doing all the wrong things. And there was a baby crawling around on the floor close to the oven. You want to keep them away from the oven. So let's go to the next slide, next two slides. Okay, and
No,
then,
it's done.
and we're almost out of time, but I wanted to, maybe we'll just look at these and not spend a lot of time, but fire extinguishers are a good thing to have. Let's go to the next slide. Stay by your kitchen stove. That was another one, because did you realize that sometimes, do boys ever cook for yourself, or do you have somebody that cooks for you?
I don't think so.
Ma'am, my mother cook, but sometime me and my brother cooks.
Yeah, because
Some
sometimes
of
you're hungry. And so one of the things that I never thought about, because I personally do not fall asleep, but some people might have something on the stove and then they're very tired and they go and they sit in their chair and they fall asleep. So simply by setting your phone for a timer when you're cooking something could save your life and the life of your family. Genius. Let's go to the next one. Cloths and hot pads. Now people use silicone, the rubbery hot pads, because they don't burn. Let's go to the next one. This is important, especially if you have small children in your house. Look, what do you see in that picture?
Ma'am, we could see that stove with that cooker.
What do you
And,
notice? What do you notice about the handles on those pots?
Ma'am, handles are inward on the
Yeah.
top of the stove. They are, and they
They face inward.
they are used to hold the cooker so that the food does not spill.
Yeah. And think about this for a
It will,
minute because, yes, sir?
it will be very hot because the handle will be very warm if you keep in that position. And if the person
Yeah.
will hold it, the hand is going to burn.
Right. So you want a pot holder for
Yeah.
that one.
Yes.
The back one is better. But
That
think about when you're around heat also, we always think about burns from fires. But another thing, especially as you start cooking for yourself, is you can be burned from hot water that scalds you, very painful. So if you have the handles in, you won't accidentally tip over a pot of hot water. You know, it just makes sense. And when I taught this, I found some things I was doing wrong in the kitchen because I didn't always turn my handles in. So, you know, it's good review for all of us, even if we hardly ever cook. So let's go to the next one. Keep pets out of the kitchen. What would happen if you tripped over your cat or your dog? I'm not going to say you must not, but it's something to think about because tripping and heat don't go together well, do they? Let's go to the next one. Children away from hot areas. Okay, we know that. Let's go to the next one. Aprons. Well, oh, this was one. Look at the sleeves on this person.
Ah,
So if you had a
too long.
sleeve hanging down and you have open flame, or you wear your mom wears a scarf, you know, and it's by the open flame, not a good idea. So if you ever see someone in your family doing that, you might just ask them not to wear loose clothing by the stove. You could be the person that saves your family just by reminding them.
Even most
Okay,
of the time, the sari is also a problem while cooking. Most
I
of the time.
know. And you know, that was one of the things that I don't wear a sari, but I do wear scarves. And one
Yeah,
day, a
scarf
year
also.
ago, my husband said, you know, you shouldn't be cooking with that scarf on
Yeah,
unless maybe you had an apron over you because
yeah,
loose clothing, how horrible, right?
yeah.
So remind your families. Let's go to the next one. This is the most important one. This is the one we'll end on this one. But if you're cooking and you have a lid and your pan catches fire, remember the fire triangle. What are you going to do? What do you think, Dash?
what, ma'am?
If someone in your house was cooking, and maybe not you, maybe your mom, but you could save them if the fire caught in the pan, what could you do to stop the fire?
Ah,
Ma'am, if the fire starts, ma'am, there smoke gets up, so we can put the lids, ma'am, so that oxygen doesn't enter, and the means fire also doesn't. And if it is more fire, we could switch off the gas till then
Perfect.
it is cooled.
Perfect. You have won your junior firefighter award for the day. So the next ones are just about microwaves, same thing. Keep the door closed. You might go to the next. Or ovens. Oh, if a fire, like you say, turn off the gas, put a lid on. Don't touch the pan until it's completely cooled. Let's go to the next. In the oven, Manav, can you read what to do if there was a fire in the oven? You might save your family someday.
Now we should put water in we should off the first microwave, then we can put some water, yeah, some we can say some
Stop. Read what
no,
it says.
no.
Good try, but read what it says.
and what to do if a fire in the oven. Turn over of turnover off, have the electrical turn off, electricity turn off, keep the door closed to prevent oxygen from increases that fire. The fire.
So think about it. If you were going to pour water on it, you'd open the door and the fire would increase. So you don't want to do that. You want to keep the door closed. And with that, I think we've learned a lot. Tomorrow is going to be a beautiful lesson on wildland fires. I hope that you come. I hope your friends come. It will be some really beautiful pictures that someone from the New York Times newspaper spent 2 years taking pictures and reporting on it. So tomorrow will be a good one. Thanks for coming today.
Thank you so much for this such an informative session, ma'am. It's
Yes, and I hope that it's
an eye-opening session it is.
I
Very,
thank
very
you. It's always
informative.
a good reminder. Okay, take
Yeah.
care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And God bless you all.
Bye.
God bless you
Good day,
too.
ma'am.